Item Number SCP-Y-020. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures SCP-Y-020 cannot be contained due to its existence on a separate plane. Efforts are focused on tracking its manifestations and minimizing its impact. Surveillance equipment sensitive to extra-dimensional anomalies is stationed in areas where SCP-Y-020 is known to appear. Any sightings or encounters are to be reported immediately to Site-Y-1 Command for analysis. SCP-Y-020-A instances are to be contained in standard humanoid containment cells equipped with soundproofing to prevent the spread of scratching sounds. Personnel interacting with SCP-Y-020-A must wear noise-cancelling headphones to avoid auditory hallucinations. Psychological support is mandatory for all personnel exposed to SCP-Y-020 or SCP-Y-020-A instances. Description: SCP-Y-020 manifests as a tall, thin humanoid wearing a jester costume intertwined with patches of sickly green flesh. It features a gaunt face with sunken, glowing eyes and a perpetual ear-to-ear smile revealing elongated teeth. Insect-like limbs protrude from its head, mimicking a jester's hat, and produce a chittering sound as they move. Notably, SCP-Y-020's face appears to be a mask of skin covering an insectoid body. It flickers in and out of visibility, selectively appearing to chosen individuals. Those hunted by SCP-Y-020 report hearing scratching sounds inside their heads before disappearing without a trace. Within 7 days, some reappear as SCP-Y-020-A instances, bearing grotesque deformities and a tick-like insect in place of their heads. SCP-Y-020's manifestations are frequently preceded by an anomalous drop in temperature and an increase in ambient electromagnetic interference. Witnesses describe an overwhelming sense of dread and an inability to move or look away during its appearances. SCP-Y-020 appears to favor locations with high human activity, often choosing urban parks, schools, and public squares for its manifestations. SCP-Y-020's presence causes localized reality distortions, making its containment and study exceedingly difficult. These distortions include sudden spatial anomalies, temporal displacements, and auditory hallucinations. Subjects exposed to SCP-Y-020's chittering sounds report symptoms ranging from mild anxiety to full-blown psychosis. Addendum Y-020-3 Psychological Impact Study Abstract: SCP-Y-020 induces profound psychological distress in individuals who encounter it. Symptoms include paranoia, hallucinations, severe anxiety, and dissociative episodes. Long-term exposure leads to irreversible mental deterioration. Case Study 1. Subject D4532-1. Exposure: direct visual and auditory symptoms. Subject reported incessant scratching noises and visual hallucinations of SCP-Y-020. Over time, subject developed severe paranoia, believing SCP-Y-020 was hiding in shadows and corners. Subject was found attempting to carve out their own eyes, claiming they couldn't unsee the Harlequin. Case Study 2. Subject Agent. Exposure: visual symptoms. Agent reported feeling watched and hearing chittering noises. Agent's mental state deteriorated rapidly, culminating in a dissociative episode where the agent believed they were becoming SCP-Y-020. Psychological evaluation revealed severe cognitive dissonance and identity fragmentation. Incident Report YHLQN-2. Date: August 1, 2000. Location: United States. Details: Y-020 manifested in a middle school during a theatrical performance causing mass hysteria. Several students and staff members disappeared, and 4 Y-020-A instances were discovered in the school's gymnasium. One instance was clutching a makeshift mask made of human skin, resembling Y-020's face. Psychological counseling was provided to all surviving witnesses. Incident Report Y-020-34. Date: August 25, 2000. Location. Details. A surveillance team stationed near a known manifestation site detected a significant increase in electromagnetic activity. Upon investigation, they found Y-020 interacting with a Y-020-A instance, seemingly teaching the instance how to mimic human behavior. Y-020 noticed the team and vanished. One team member later reported severe auditory hallucinations and was subsequently classified as Y-020-A after a followed abduction. Incident Report YHLQN-55. Date: July 3, 2000. Location: Site Y1. Details: Y020 appeared during a Foundation secure transfer operation targeting the convoy. The entity managed to abduct 2 personnel, who later reappeared as Y020-A instances. Both exhibited extreme aggression, and one anomalous humanoid from Zeta 0, who had been converted into a Y020-A instance, seemed to maintain her psychokinetic abilities, even though her body was horribly disfigured and her head had been replaced by the odd tick-like insect. Due to the extreme aggression of these instances, they had to be terminated. Analysis of their remains showed advanced insectoid metamorphosis, with internal organs replaced by chitinous structures. Incident Report YHLQN-207. Date: July 19, 2000. Location: Site Y1, Testing Chamber Y6. Details: During a routine test involving SCP-Y6, Dr. Jameson donned the eyeglasses and reported immediate visual contact with Y020. Dr. Jameson described Y020 as standing in the corner of the testing chamber, observing him intently. Upon removing SCP-Y6, Y020 disappeared from sight. This observation was replicated with subsequent tests involving different subjects wearing SCP-Y6. Further testing revealed that SCP-Y6 allows individuals to perceive Y020, suggesting that Y020 exists on a plane or dimension that intersects with our reality in ways normally invisible to the human eye. Individuals using SCP-Y6 reported feeling intense unease and a sense of being watched while Y020 was in view. Incident Report YHLQN-322. Date: July 31, 2000. Location: Site Y1, Containment Chamber Y13. Details: During an unscheduled inspection of Y13's containment chamber, Y13 vocalized a complaint about the presence of that ghastly jester within its vicinity. Security personnel on site confirmed that Y13 was referring to Y020, which was not visible to any personnel present. Y13 expressed visible agitation and demanded the immediate removal of Y020. The lighting of the containment chamber began to mildly malfunction, while Y13 expressed his intent to give it a right wallop if it was not removed. This interaction suggests that Y13 is inherently capable of perceiving Y020 without the aid of SCP-Y6, possibly due to its own anomalous nature. Y13's sensitivity to Y020 raises questions about the relationship between different SCP entities and their abilities to perceive or interact with one another. Incident Report YHLQN-1. Date: August 1, 2000. Location: Wyoming. Details: Y020 appeared to civilian witnesses in a public park, resulting in widespread panic. Mobile Task Force Zeta 0 was dispatched to contain the situation. Upon arrival, Y020 had vanished, leaving behind 3 Y020-A instances suspended in mid-air, each displaying the characteristic green patchwork skin and tick-like insect heads. The instances were muttering incoherently in an unknown language, with a rhythmic clicking sound emanating from their throats. The following is an interview conducted with Donovan Carlson, a man who was present during the Y-020 incident at the park. Begin log.
Mr. Donovan, thank you for agreeing to speak with us. I understand you've been through quite an ordeal. Could you please describe what you saw in the park that day?
It was a normal day, just walking my dog, Max. Everything was fine until that thing showed up.
Take your time, Mr. Donovan. What did this thing look like?
It was tall, so tall and thin, like it shouldn't be able to stand. And its face was all wrong. Like a jester's mask, but alive. Those eyes, glowing, and that smile.
You're doing great. What happened next?
People started screaming, kids crying. I tried to get away, but I couldn't move. It felt like it was looking right at me, and then scratching.
Scratching? Can you elaborate on that?
In my head, like nails on a chalkboard, but inside. I couldn't think. I couldn't breathe.
You mentioned 3 individuals were left behind. Can you describe what they looked like?
They were hanging. Not by anything I could see, just suspended. Their skin, it was green patches, like sickly green. And their heads, insects. Clicking, always clicking. Talking, but I couldn't understand.
Did they say anything you could make out? Any words or phrases?
No, not words, just muttering and that clicking. Rhythmic, like a pattern. Do you hear that?
Hear what, Mr. Donovan?
The scratching. It's back inside my head.
Mr. Donovan, there's no scratching sound. Can you focus on me? Look at me, please.
No, it's here. I can hear it. It's... Oh, God.
Mr. Donovan?
It's in the corner. The jester. It's here. Watching.
Mr. Donovan, there's nothing there. You're safe here.
Click, click, scratch, scratch. It won't stop. Click, click, scratch, scratch. It won't stop. Click, click, scratch, scratch, scratch. Click, click, scratch.
This concludes the interview. Subject is unresponsive, displaying signs of acute distress. Immediate psychological evaluation recommended.
Donovan Carlson experienced an acute psychological reaction at unprecedented speeds compared to other individuals, developing a rapidly mentally evolving psychosis that is unusual even for those exposed to Y-020. It was later confirmed via a separate testing group participating in a daily walk with Y-13, Philistine, that Y-020 had walked out of the interview room around the time that the interview ended, potentially implying that Y-020 had intentionally induced rapid psychosis in Donovan during his interview. SCP-Y-020's predatory nature and proclivity to toy with its prey, as well as its fast-stacking body count, has earned it an infamous reputation at Site-Y1. While it clearly enjoys hunting in populated areas, it also appears to have a proclivity for hunting Site-Y1 personnel, having a notable effect on our mortality rates. Site-Y1 personnel who find themselves hunted are urged to alert the site director immediately. Around the clock, security personnel will be assigned, and specially designated researchers will conduct extermination tests during the hunting period. We have yet to discover a way to stop, interact, or communicate with Y-020, making it extremely difficult to conduct research on or defend against. Unlike most SCPs, Y-020 may be exterminated on site if one can find a way to do so, and the individual or group to do so will be rewarded gratuitously. This is Director Knightley, signing off on another report at Site-Y1. I eagerly look forward to having your audience in future reports.